So it started 2 years and one day ago for me. The blog and it started with an interview, as I said before, an interview of Dan Pena from London Real, his first interview, and then the first interview that Peter Sage did. And Peter Sage's interview just literally blew me away. And it took me 3 days of shock really to process it, to realize that first of all there was such a thing as a victim mentality, which I didn't know about. What you are not aware of controls you, and I was not aware that I was a victim in my mind. I probably still am to some extent, certainly actually, but I've started to realize it and started to change a few things, I suppose. And So this is a little video about what's changed since then. Has anything really changed? Yeah, I think so. I don't see myself as much as a victim, and now I'm more aware of that. When I do, when I do say things or do things that mean that I'm seeing myself as a victim, then I'm a little bit more aware of it. Um, and I'm slowly starting to actually implement things that are a bit that are going to create change in and of themselves. Um, so, for example, I'm today's the 11th of May 2016, and on 25th of April, I started a self-imposed 66-day challenge to exercise every day. Now, I have fallen a bit short a couple of times. One day, I think there's been a couple of days where I didn't exercise. And I thought at first I had some good excuses, but no, really I didn't, because if I'd really wanted to, I could have organized myself, got up earlier, gone to bed later, skipped something in between or whatever, and still fitted in my exercise. And if I didn't, then I'm a bit of a lazy cunt. There's no way around that. So, what's changed? So at the moment, I seem to be more faithful in the fact that I can change things, that I've got charge of who I am, how I am, and that I can actually change things. And this 66-day challenge has been really cool for me so far, because my body weight seems to be about stable. I can see and feel that my fat is diminishing in quantity, and I can see and feel little extra bumps on here, and little bits of muscle that didn't seem to be there, and also because I'm doing push-ups every day. I My first push-ups, a few months ago, I went to the gym and did a few push-ups, and I think I managed to do maybe 3 or 4, and it was just extremely difficult for me to do push-ups. Well, when I started my 66-day challenge 17 days ago, I was on 50 a day, 5 times 10, and now I'm on almost 100, because I decided to increase that by myself, because it was getting not really too easy, but I figured if I don't make it harder as I go along, then the curve is just gonna, it's just gonna flatten out, and I'm not gonna get more muscle unless I keep straining the muscle. So I needed to make it a bit harder. And so my body weight is stable, but I can see the blood is reducing, which means I'm putting on a bit of muscle. So my weight now is round about 68 kilos, and 2 years ago it was I think about 83. Yeah, I think it was 83 kilos when I started this. And so there's a 15 kilo difference, and I would say that it's more, maybe more than that, because my body weight is stable, but I'm losing fat, so it's probably more than 15 kilos of fat. I'm not sure. Maybe I lost some muscle in there as well. I don't know. But anyway, there's at least 15 kilos difference in weight. That's already a pretty good thing. I've stopped drinking in July 2015. I stopped drinking wine. right after Ayahuasca session number 6. And after the first toad medicine on the 5th of December 2015, I stopped I stopped beer as well, which is something I thought I'd never be able to stop. And I just stopped, and I haven't had any real difficulty with that. Since then, I've just stopped all forms of alcohol, and it's now been, 6 months? Over 6 months. And it's not getting more difficult. On the contrary, it's just more and more easy. I go to the supermarket, see the beer, the wine, just walk past. I can go to bars with people, with friends. I can have people drinking around me all evening, all day. I'm still not going to drink a drop of alcohol, and I would be extremely disappointed with myself if I did one day make an exception for whatever reason. Just some lame excuse. Because I'm fairly sure that I would still be able to appreciate beer. That makes it a little bit more difficult because wine, I know I don't appreciate anymore. That's why I stopped after after Ayahuasca 5. I stopped appreciating it, but kept drinking it because in my mind I thought I liked it. And after number 6, it just really became clear I just didn't like the stuff anymore. Whereas beer, it was a conscious decision to stop it. It wasn't because I just suddenly stopped liking it. So I would probably appreciate a really nice cold beer when it's nice and hot and stuff, but I just don't want to give in to that, and it's something that I know I need to stick to. And if you do the math, and you have 5, 6 beers a week, well, in calories, that's going to be something like 1,000 calories. So if you have, let's say you have if you have 1 beer a day, you're having an extra day's worth of calories, right? It means you're living 7 days and eating for 8 days. So, you want to, if you're not drinking already, that's going to help you to lose weight. And also for me, it just got rid of my joint pain. I'm fairly sure that it's the alcohol. At least that's the number one cause was that for me. Now, I've also reduced a lot on the meat. That has been really following ayahuasca. Every time I've been less attracted to red meat. I've stopped pork virtually completely. I've stopped cheese, although I live in a country, Mexico, where cheese is not that great, and you're not missing much if you don't eat it. If I were living in France, it might be a hell of a lot more difficult, and I might eat some cheese while I'm there, because I know that I'll be there just for a few weeks, and yeah. But overall, I've reduced dairy a lot. I try not to have cream in my coffee or milk in my coffee during the week, and I try to keep it to just 1 or 2 days where I have some. So maybe around about 4 or 5 cups a week with cream or milk in it, and the rest I don't. I am fairly addicted to coffee. I'm drinking a lot, but I'm drinking it very diluted compared to before. I'm diluting it 50% water, 50% coffee compared to before. So I am having a lot, but much lighter. And still, I would need to reduce that, and I think I'm going to try and replace it with some tea and ginger, sliced fresh ginger. I think I'm going to try that. I might start on that today, actually. So I've got now a little bit of a quasi routine in place that I want to improve. I want to get up earlier. I want to try and get up around 5 in the morning, 5:30 at the latest. Get my lime juice with ginger in it in the first thing in the morning. Do my meditation. Eat 1 grapefruit. Do my exercise, my routine here. You can do it anyway. You don't need anything special. What I do is I do squats. I do 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 abs on a machine, which makes it easier. That's true. And I've got some weights that I do for the biceps, and that's it. And I go walking with the dog at some point during the day, and once in a while I might go running a bit. But that my routine is what I can do at home with just my body weight, and then right after that I eat protein, Usually it's brown rice and lentils, or some eggs. I'm going to try and do some eggs and sometimes lentils. And in the evening, trying to not eat too late. Try to not eat after 7 p.m. and eat a salad with no protein or anything special, just a salad. And then you go to bed early. 2 points in going to bed early. First of all, you'll be able to get up earlier the next day and get more done, feel better about yourself. And secondly, you're not going to have time to get hungry again. If you stay up later than 9:30, you're going to get hungry again because you've just had a salad, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half before that. You've had a salad, so you're going to get hungry very quickly. So you need to go to bed quite early. And if you do get hungry, then just have some fiber, some powdered fiber, a natural source, something that's not too strong. And have a glass of water with some fiber in it. It gets rid of your hunger right away. If you don't have that, have some cucumber. That's negative calorie food, very hard to digest. Mostly water, gets rid of your hunger immediately, just for a short amount of time, but enough for you to fall asleep. Yeah, what else has changed over the past 2 years? Well, I'm still judgmental. I'm still a dick. Still an arsehole. But maybe a little bit less. And I'm less, especially after I've had ayahuasca or toad medicine. And one of the things that made it possible for me to be doing this 66-day challenge was to stop focusing on other people and things that annoyed me, and people, close members of my family that were that I was annoying myself with by thinking of them and getting frustrated about the things that I would like them to do that they weren't doing, and just focusing on my own problems and trying to be an example for them, but really just doing it for myself. And that's what's made it possible, because otherwise you can concentrate on other people and convince yourself that they're annoying you, but really you're just annoying yourself. So, if there's something like that, that's just get on with your life, and too bad for them if they, and that's a bit judgmental really, isn't it, to say that, but too bad if you can't help them, or you don't know how to help them and they don't want to help themselves, then don't get all frustrated with it. Just get helping yourself, get on with your life, try to be a better yourself. And I know that I really need to improve physically, so I think this 66-day challenge is a really good thing. One thing that makes it possible is the fact that you get addicted very quickly to it by doing it every single day. And by having this rule that you need to do it every single day, there's no concept of, oh, I'm allowed not to do it today. So when something else comes along and makes it difficult for you to do it, I don't know, let's say you've got to go to a wedding or whatever it is, you're still not allowed to not do your exercise. So that entire concept of I'm allowed to not do it today doesn't exist. It's not like doing it one day and saying, oh, I'm going to exercise every 2 days, so I'm going to have a day off in between. Because then that concept of not working out for a day exists. But when that doesn't exist at all, your success rate is either 100% or 0%. So either you do exercise or you don't. And so there's no in between. And so there's less messing about, and there's less room for excuses. And also, because you get addicted, you immediately feel really bad. If you don't do your exercise, you feel physically weak, you feel a little bit depressed, you don't get that great pumped up energized feeling that you get when you've done your exercise. And I expect that maybe at some point I'm going to want to exercise twice a day, once early in the morning and then some point in the afternoon feel I need to do some more. Because I do feel I'm getting really addicted to it, and I feel that my body is getting, I feel that I'm getting more muscles, that I'm feeling stronger, that my body is growing in terms of muscles. I just sort of feel that way. I know it's very slow, and if you saw me, you'd laugh, but I still feel that I'm making good progress. And so, yeah, and one thing that's really changed massively compared to 2 years ago now, massively, is the anguish, the guilt, feeling of anguish I had inside my stomach, that I had permanently, all day long, almost in waves randomly. I used to have that tremendously. That went away hugely after my very first ayahuasca sessions, and then progressively went away a little bit more. And the recent things I did in Peru just seemed to have wiped that out. That and the toad medicine seemed to have just like virtually wiped it out. So, and the toad has helped a lot with death, the fear of death, and I think ayahuasca as well. The very intense ceremonies I had in Peru really helped with that. Um, so overall, I feel a lot better about myself. Feel a lot better about my potential. Less afraid to do things. I'm still a lazy cunt. I still fall short, but I'm getting that conviction more and more, and I'm doing things more and more, getting a little bit lazy, and that helps you to be less lazy after that, and then less lazy, and then less lazy, I'm starting to get that positive, those positive wheels in motion, and starting to feel like I'm on a positive hamster wheel instead of being on a negative hamster wheel, always sabotaging, always sabotaging. Here I feel like I'm sabotaging less and less. And still got huge progress to do, but that's how I feel after 2 years and 1 day of starting to realize that I'd been a silly victim, and starting to realize, no, I've got charge of, I'm in charge of how I feel, how I don't feel, what I do, what I don't do. It's all up to me. And so, yeah, that's how I feel.